How's it going? It's 220 Prepper here, and I got a video for y'all. So, I was recently asked, why do I prep? And I gave the answer that I normally do. I want to be prepared if the worst ever happens. And a conversation went on, and I wound up saying, I think you need to prep too. I pretty much believe everybody should be prepping to some degree. And they were like, no, well, there's no point in me prepping. The end of the world's never going to happen. And, I laughed it off. I was like, yeah, well, that's just what you believe. So, I'm not going to sit here and press it. And I got to thinking about it. And I was like, but the fact of the matter is, you don't really know. And what I mean is, prepping is pretty much done so you are prepared for the worst day of your life. Plain and simple. If a blackout happens, anything that's in your fridge is gonna go bad. I've had storms knock out power, and I've been without power for a month, 2 months, close to 2 months, about a month and a half, and everything in the fridge went bad. We were sitting there eating canned foods. It is what it is. And I realized this is the kind of stuff that people who prepare for are really working towards. You're being prepared for the worst day of your life. I've lived all over the country. I've lived Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia. I've been everywhere. So I understand natural disasters happen. Tornadoes happen. Hurricanes happen. Earthquakes happen. I've experienced all of those. All of them. And if a natural disaster such as that occurs, and think of what happened with Katrina. City got flooded, and nobody could go anywhere. Everybody was in the Superdome, waiting on food and water, waiting to get evacuated. And they couldn't because there were just so many people. People were stuck stranded on top of their houses. They had no food. They had no water. They had no medicine. They had nothing like that. They weren't prepared. Plain and simple. So they just weren't, they weren't prepared. And if you think about it, that is something that everybody needs to prepare for. You can very easily get advanced warning for a hurricane or for a tornado, but not for something like an earthquake. Things happen. Things that are out of your control happen. And when they do, you need to be prepared for that to go on. And that is why I believe people need to be prepared. Plain and simple, you need to be prepared for the worst day of your life. The day that hurricane hits, the day that tornado comes, and your town gets screwed, if you're waiting on FEMA or anything like that, it's more than just you. It is whoever survived. And God willing, everybody is there. Everybody survived. But the problem is, now you have to wait for an evacuation, but in the meantime, they're going to be setting up FEMA camps, getting everybody food and water, and with so many people, it's going to take time. And that is the problem. That is why you need to be prepared yourself. Have some preparations for you. Because if you aren't evacuated in time, you could die. Die of dehydration, starvation. It's very, very possible. Even if all you have is a couple of jugs of water and a few cans of food, that's better than nothing. Because even if your town doesn't get destroyed, even if all that happens is you lose power, you could still lose power easily up to a week. Very, very easily. And by then, if you've got nothing, if you've got no kind of backup anything, who knows what can happen. And that is why, at the bare minimum, you should be stockpiling some amount of food. And not even a full-scale stockpile. Just having extra. Plain and simple. When the worst day of your life comes, I guarantee you're going to wish you had something. And that is why I believe that everybody should be prepared for some reason.